are intelligent, playful and sometimes pretty cheeky, and dolphins have been classified by biologists into 32 species. Or at least up until recently they had. Due to my research, one more dolphin species has been described, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Hi, I'm Kate from Monash University, and I'd like to introduce you to the new dolphin species I discovered. This is Tersiops australis, otherwise known as the Burranan dolphin, and it lives in two populations off southern Australia. One population inhabits Port Phillip Bay and the other lives further east along the coast. These guys are found in the same region as common bottlenose dolphins, and it was always thought that these species were one in the same. But some scientific investigating I did let me distinguish between these dolphin species, and there were three main components to my work. My fieldwork involved getting out on the water and observing the dolphins in the wild. I recorded when and where I came across the pods, and I observed the dolphins' behaviours and interactions. I also took a lot of photos of their fins. That's because every dolphin's dorsal fin has scars, nicks and notches that allow us to identify them. Building up a database of fin photos for the populations I studied helped me learn how individuals are related to each other, where they hung out and who with. As well as learning about dolphins in the wild, I also researched their genetics in the lab. This meant extracting DNA from tiny pieces of skin which I collected from the dolphins with a dart. I used various lab techniques to release the DNA from the skin cells, cut it into fragments and to replicate these millions of times. Then I sequenced the genes in these fragments and compared them to the same fragments from other dolphin species worldwide. And the last part of my research, well, that involved working with dolphin skulls. These came from museum collections, and I took 44 measurements on every skull. By analysing and comparing the skull's sizes and shapes, I found out much more about the morphology or physical traits of bottlenose dolphins than I could from the boat. This helped me come to a conclusion about just how many species there are. My work on the skull supported the observations in the field and my genetics research. Each aspect of my work showed important differences between the dolphin populations of southern Australia, and the one species that biologists had always known about actually turned out to be two. So we rethought the classification of the world's dolphin species and added Tersiops australis to the list.